teaching faces an urgent crisis. We're struggling to recruit new teachers and keep the ones we have. The teacher supply problem shows up in three ways. Not enough people entering training, high dropout rates in the early years, and fewer teachers moving into leadership. 5 forces converge to make teaching less attractive: heavy workload, stagnant pay, low public status, tight funding, and mixed policy signals. England's numbers are stark. Over 40,000 teachers left within their first year across 12 years, with 11% gone after year 1, 26% by year 3, and 42% by year 10. Trainees expect one thing, but classroom reality delivers another, especially the sheer volume of tasks that aren't actually teaching. In the US, fewer people enrolled in teacher training during the 2010s, yet the teaching workforce still grew faster than student numbers. The UK pattern looks different. Persistent recruitment gaps, high exit rates, workload mismatches, and pay problems form an interconnected ecosystem challenge. Now let's examine the compensation package, salary, career progression, and pensions, and how they shape who stays and who leaves. What matters isn't just the pay number, but how it compares to the work required and how it grows over a career. England's starting salary sits near the UK graduate median at around 31,650, while US teachers start higher at roughly 44,030 in sterling, and Australia's packages rank even higher. By 2024, average teacher pay had fallen over 6% in real terms since 2010, with experienced teachers down about 11%, even as other sectors saw pay rise. Entry-level pay stays competitive with other graduate jobs, but mid-career pay has weakened significantly, a split that helps explain why recruitment lags and exits climb. England's employer pension contributions are unusually high compared to the private sector and many international systems, adding real value over a career, though pensions don't pay rent in year 1. Early career teachers prioritise cash in hand and manageable workload, while retention depends more on career trajectory and professional agency. Different stages, different needs. The main pay scale has 6 points, then 3 upper points, creating an early ceiling at M6 that feels like a ledge rather than a ladder. Beyond pay, workload, and role clarity are hidden drivers of attrition. Let's look at what teachers actually face. Teachers report working around 50-plus hours a week, with less than half spent on actual instruction. Post-pandemic pressures, attendance issues, behaviour challenges, widening social needs, and thinned support services have piled more non-teaching work onto teachers. Systemic load outweighs what schools can fix on their own. Compliance demands, funding limits, and lack of control over support systems sit outside the school gates. Honest expectation setting in training reduces the gap between what trainees expect and what they encounter, improving retention, while rose-tinted recruitment does the opposite. Public perception and professional status shape career choices more than we might think. Finland, Singapore, and South Korea publicly esteem their teachers, and it shows in outcomes, recruitment, and retention. Media and politicians praise schools during crises, but criticize them in calmer times, contradictory messaging that erodes professional trust. Public narrative shapes parental expectations and graduate career choices, making a shift in how we talk about teaching a real recruitment intervention. Funding headlines can mislead. Let's unpack what the numbers actually mean for schools. From 2010 to 2019, per-pupil spending in England fell about 9% in real terms as student numbers grew faster than budgets. Returning to 2010 funding levels doesn't equal operational relief when pupil needs have risen, especially with more students requiring EHCPs absorbing much of the increase. Professional development improves teaching quality and job satisfaction, yet it remains uneven and often squeezed out. Effective professional development directly boosts teaching quality and satisfaction, but it's still inconsistent in intensity, quality, and protected time. High-performing systems treat professional development as an entitlement built into the work week, while the UK approach often adds it on top of existing workload. Here's a comprehensive multi-year strategy with 6 interconnected interventions to fix teacher recruitment and retention. First, restore pay competitiveness with a delta pay strategy. Adding an annual percentage point above average earnings growth, a delta strategy, works better than just keeping pace, according to NFER modelling. A 5-year settlement creates predictable pay increases, giving schools planning certainty and sending clearer signals to graduates about teaching as a stable career. Extending progression beyond M6 would reward advanced practice without forcing teachers into leadership roles they may not want. Second, reduce workload through system-level support, not just school-level fixes. System-level load shedding means streamlining compliance, clarifying accountability signals, and restoring multi-agency support for attendance, behaviour, and mental health. A workload gateway test would ask what gets removed or automated before adding any new initiative. National templates, task automation, and frequency guardrails would cut down routine administrative work like reports, returns, and assessments. Third, close the expectation gap with honest training and strong early career support. Unvarnished previews of workload and demands pair with structured mentoring, phased release, and lighter contact ratios in the first 2 years. National standards for early career timetabling would limit complex classes in year 1 and protect collaboration time. Fourth, make professional development a time-backed entitlement, not an add-on. Embed PD time, subject-specific development, coaching and collaborative planning into the working week itself. Guaranteed weekly or fortnightly. PD time with clear activities and outcomes treats development as evidence-informed and evaluated for impact. Fifth, launch a national campaign to elevate teaching's public status. Public esteem directly influences graduate recruitment. Countries that brand teachers as nation builders invest in long-term supply. A cross-party communications compact and annual reporting that highlights teacher impact stories, not just accountability data, would reshape the narrative. Sixth, make leadership roles attractive and sustainable to prevent headship shortages. Sustainable leadership requires clearer role definitions, assistant roles that genuinely share the load, and talent pathways that recognize instructional expertise. Let's address 3 common objections to this strategy. We can't afford delta pay, but not investing costs us too, through agency reliance, lost learning, recruitment churn, and international leakage, making pay competitiveness necessary for supply recovery. Schools should just innovate. Many already do, but when barriers and enablers sit outside the school, system levers, not school heroics, are decisive. Status campaigns are window dressing, but status is a market signal. If we tell a generation teaching is embattled and inflexible, they'll believe us and choose something else. Here's the bottom line. A 5-year settlement with delta pay, workload relief, early career support, PD entitlement, flexible progression, and a status campaign will stabilize inflow, slow exits, and rebuild leadership capacity. Proactive investment bends the curve, while managed decline incurs significant social and economic costs in the long run. Education is the growth engine. Teachers are the engineers. Let's fund and respect them accordingly.